The Cambridge Five were a notorious group of British spies who passed critical information to the Soviet Union during and after World War II. Their activities not only compromised British intelligence, but also strained the UK's relationship with its allies, particularly the United States. This article delves into the origins, operations, and lasting impact of the Cambridge Five. The Cambridge Five were recruited during their time at the University of Cambridge in the 1930s. The group consisted of Philby, Guy Burgess, Arnold Maclean, Anthony Blunt, and John Cairncross. They were drawn to communism partly due to the rise of fascism in Europe and the economic turmoil of the Great Depression. The Soviet Union, seen as a bulwark against fascism, appealed to their ideological leanings. Arnold Deutsch, a Soviet spy master, played a crucial role in recruiting these young men. Under his guidance, they were instructed to infiltrate key positions within the British government and intelligence services. Their privileged backgrounds and academic credentials facilitated their entry into influential roles, making them valuable assets to Soviet intelligence. The Cambridge Five infiltrated various branches of the British government, including the Foreign Office, MI5 and MI6. Their espionage activities spanned from the late 1930s to the early 1950s, during which they passed a vast amount of classified information to the Soviet Union. This included details about the Manhattan Project, NATO, and various military strategies. Philby, perhaps the most infamous of the group, held a senior position in MI6 and was the chief British intelligence officer in the United States. His role allowed him to access and relay sensitive information, including details about Operation Valuable, a plan to instigate an anti-communist revolt in Albania. Philby's betrayal was particularly damaging as he had developed close working relationships with American intelligence officials, further compromising the trust between the UK and the US. Arnold Maclean, stationed at the British Embassy in Washington, D.C., provided the Soviets with critical information about nuclear weapons and US foreign policy. His intelligence allowed the Soviet Union to adjust its nuclear strategies, significantly impacting the Cold War arms race. Guy Burgess, known for his erratic behavior and alcoholism, nonetheless managed to relay crucial diplomatic intelligence. His defection to the Soviet Union in 1951, along with Maclean, marked the first public exposure of the spy ring and caused a major scandal. Anthony Blunt, an art historian and a liaison between MI5 and MI6, used his position to pass hundreds of documents to the Soviets. Despite his significant contributions to Soviet intelligence, Blunt's espionage activities remained undisclosed until 1979, when he was stripped of his knighthood. John Cairncross, the last to be publicly identified, worked at Bletchley Park during World War II, where he had access to decrypted Nazi communications. His intelligence contributions were substantial, yet he maintained that his actions were not detrimental to Britain, as the Soviets were allies during the war. The activities of the Cambridge Five had far-reaching consequences. Their espionage severely compromised British intelligence operations and strained the UK's relationship with the United States. The defection of Burgess and Maclean in 1951, followed by Philby's flight in 1963, caused widespread panic and disarray within the British intelligence community. The revelations of their activities led to a re-evaluation of security protocols and a crackdown on potential security risks, including the persecution of homosexuals within the Foreign Office, as they were deemed susceptible to blackmail. The Cambridge Five also highlighted the vulnerabilities within the British establishment. Their ability to infiltrate high-level positions underscored the flaws in the recruitment and vetting processes of the time. The scandals surrounding their activities contributed to a broader public disillusionment with the British elite in the Conservative government, which was seen as complicit in allowing such breaches of national security. In popular culture, the story of the Cambridge Five has inspired numerous books, films, and television series, reflecting the enduring fascination with their tale of betrayal and intrigue. The Cambridge Five were more than just a group of spies. They were emblematic of a turbulent era marked by ideological conflicts and shifting global alliances. Their actions not only compromised British intelligence, but also had a lasting impact on international relations and the perception of the British establishment. The story of the Cambridge Five remains a poignant reminder of the far-reaching consequences of espionage and the intricate interplay between academia and intelligence.